Hello rail fans, and welcome to another French Fried Trains Minecraft locomotive tutorial. Today we're going to be building this BC Rail C40-8M, and a special thanks to Railfan Kyle for requesting that I build this locomotive. Make sure you check out his channel. As usual, I'm going to be building this on the front of the train I already have, and bear with me, this is the first time I've built this style of locomotive, so I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. The first step is to take dark oak stairs to be the coupler, and underneath that, put dark oak fence gate to be the air hose. After that, we're going to take out polished black stone stairs and build the plow. So starting in the middle, one block back, get 3 going across the rails, and delete the ones you used to place it. On the outside edges, we place upside down stairs facing towards the outside. Above that, a polished black stone block in the middle, and then upside down stairs facing forward coming out to the sides. On top of that, 3 blocks in the middle, and on the outside edges, right side up stairs facing to the outside on each side. Behind that, we're going to come in with our blocks and make a T-shaped pattern here. And on the inside edges of the bottom, we're going to put an end rod on each side to be porch lighting. Behind that, we're going to switch to blue concrete and make a row of 3 by 5 coming out to each side of the train tracks. Once we have that, we're going to take out a block of netherite to be our wheels, and 1 block back from the blue, we're going to place netherite on each rails and erase the middle blocks and put in an end rod to be an axle. Then we're going to switch to our black stone stairs, and we're going to place 2 of them upside down in a back-to-back T-shaped pattern and coming 5 across to each side of the train tracks. So upside down in a T-shaped pattern. Then behind that, our next set of wheels, so netherite on each rail with an end rod axle, and then we're going to do the same thing. Upside down back-to-back stairs coming 5 across. Then we need our third set of wheels, so more netherite with an end rod axle. So it should look something like this. Switch back to your blocks, and above that on the middle 3, we're going to fill this all in, coming to the back of these wheels here. And we're going to come 2 past it. Then we're going to take out dark oak fence gate and put it on the wheels facing like this and open them into the wheels. And this is tricky to do, but we got to put it facing into the wheels in between here. Make sure they open up into the wheels. And then same thing on this side. This will be your sanders and air hoses. Now where these blocks are sticking out, we come underneath and put a row of 3 blocks on the bottom here. Then we switch to upside down stairs. And we bring the upside down stairs back by 10. Then we switch back to blocks and put a row of 3 across the rails, and then upside down stairs coming back on the other side and connecting up to that other block. This is the bottom of the fuel tank. In front of this fuel tank here, we're going to place a string in the middle of the rails, and then we're going to put sideways anvils to be the air tank. The string holds up the anvil. Now we have to build the other truck, so take out your block of netherite, skip a block and put netherite on each rail, erasing the middle blocks and placing an end rod for the axle. And we're going to do the same thing we did on the front. Back-to-back stairs in a T-shaped pattern, coming 5 across to the edges of the railroad tracks. Then the next set of wheels, so in front of that, netherite on each rail with an end rod axle, and then another set of back-to-back stairs upside down coming across the railroad tracks. And then 2 more blocks of netherite with an end rod axle for the last set of wheels. Then the dark oak fence gates open into the wheels on each end for the sanders and air hoses. Now we switch back to our black stone block, and we're going to fill in this middle 3 all the way back to the wheels. We stop above where those fence gates are. Then we switch to blue concrete, and we need to make another 3x5 coming out to each side of the train tracks with blue concrete. Once we have that, we put an end rod above each rail and then black stone blocks in a T-shaped pattern. In front of that, 3 right side up stairs facing forward. On the outside edges, upside down stairs facing outward. On the next level up, a block in the middle and upside down stairs facing forward on each side. And then next one up, 3 blocks in the middle and then right side up stairs facing outward on each side. Now we're going to fill in the fuel tank, so take your blocks and put them above these upside down stairs end to end. And go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side, end to end with blocks above where the fuel tank sticks out here. Now we're going to come in above the wheels, and starting above the wheel, place a row of slabs coming across to above where this wheel is. Then we're going to go underneath with a grindstone and mount an upside down grindstone in front of each wheel. And then we come on the other side and do the exact same thing. A row of slabs coming from wheel to wheel, and then everywhere there's a wheel, we mount an upside down grindstone. Then we need to come to the back and do the same thing on the other truck. So slabs going from wheel to wheel, and then upside down grindstones in front of each wheel. And then we come over on the other side of the locomotive and do the same thing. Slabs from wheel to wheel, and an upside down grindstone in front of each wheel. Now we're going to take out chains, and in between here we put 1 chain there, a chain in between the truck and the fuel tank, 2 in this gap. I was having some trouble placing it there, so I had to erase those. Just get 2 sideways in that gap, and 1 up to that porch, and then the same thing on this side. 1 there, 2 here, 1 there, and 1 going to that front porch. Now we need to come on down to the front end of this locomotive here, and we need to place a dark oak stair. That's your coupler. And under that, a dark oak fence gate for the air hose on this end. Now take out a black stone slab to be your stairs, and place 1 on the bottom of each of these 3 blocks. So you have 3 stairs coming up. Same thing on the other side there, and then we come down and do the exact same thing on this end of the locomotive. So 3 stairs coming up, placed on the bottom of each block. Once we have our stairs done, we need to do our MU cables. So coming on the back of this locomotive, we're going to delete these fence gates and put a warp fence coming across to be the MU cable. 1 in from the side on the other one, we put a crimson button to be the port. Then we come on down to the other end of the locomotive to build the same thing over there. So on one side we put a button, and then 2 fence gates to be the stored MU cable. Now we're going to come on down with our black stone blocks that we've been using and fill in this middle 3 on the top, end to end here. Now we're going to take out a birch wood slab, and on these outside edges, on the top edge, we're going to fill it end to end with the slabs on both sides of the locomotive. Now on the front end of the fuel tank, I'm going to have the front end facing the void. So on the front end of the fuel tank, place a crimson button on the front and leave a gap in another one to be the fuel cap and emergency shutoff. Now we're going to come in with a target block on the front end, and we're going to make a 2x5, but leaving a gap 1 in from that side for a door. Above that, we place glowstone in the middle and a target block on each side of it. The target blocks represent the red and white stripes on the nose. It's the closest we have in Minecraft. Switch to blue concrete, and we're going to come out on the edge above the slabs there. come out by 2, white concrete above that. On the middle top 3, fill it in with a 2x3 of red concrete. Take out red nether brick stairs and fill in this top 3 on the outside edge, facing outward on both sides. Switch back to blue concrete, and on these outside edges of the bottom here, come back by 5 on each side. And on this side as well. Above that, switch to white concrete and bring the white concrete back by 5 on each side. Fill in the layer above that on each side with white concrete as well. Now switch to red concrete, put 1 on the front, skip 2, and another red concrete. Knock out the top white block on the back for a door. Then use stained glass panes to fill in the side windows and come all the way across the front here. Put 1 coming forward in the middle as well. And actually, I don't quite like how that looks, so we're going to knock out that middle one here, and we're going to replace it with red stained glass, just to make the window divider. So red stained glass in the middle and 1 coming forward. Now we're going to take out blue concrete, and we're going to take from the bottom here and come all the way around to the back of the locomotive and all the way up to the front on the other side. We leave a gap in the very middle of the back for a door, and then just extend the blue all the way up to the front there. Now we're going to do the same thing on the next layer with white concrete. On this layer we skip a block to leave a gap for a door, and we do the same thing, except this time we come across the top of that hole because we're at enough height to put a door in now. And drag that all the way to the front as well. Now we switch to red concrete and bring that all the way around. Now we're going to put our doors in, so take out whatever door you think looks best. I'm using this one because most of the doors on this locomotive have windows in them. 1 on each side, 1 in the front hole there, and 1 in this back middle. In here I didn't like how the back looked all flat, so on the outside edges I'm knocking out the corner blocks. I'm going to fill it in with blue, white, and red stained glass, just to make a little bit more curvature to the back of the locomotive here. And do that on each side. Now we're going to come in on top with red concrete. It's starting in the middle, make this T shape with 1 sticking forwards. Then we're going to go ahead and fill in this whole top middle 3 with red concrete. Now we're going to take out some bedrock, and coming in on the back rear, we're going to knock out 6 of these red blocks on this outside layer. And we're going to fill that with bedrock. And we do the same thing on the other side. Come back 1 block, knock out 6, and replace it with the bedrock. This is just going to be a radiator vent. Now we come up to the front side of the locomotive, and starting 1 block back from where the door is, we knock out some blocks. We're going to knock out 4 blocks and replace them with red nether brick stairs facing outward and right side up. Same thing on the other side. 1 back from the door, 4 blocks knocked out, and stairs facing outward and right side up. Behind that, we skip a block, knock out another 4, and place it with polished basalt, making sure that the pattern is vertical. This is another vent. Same thing here. Skip a block, knock out 4, and right side up, polished basalt. Now we come in on the bottom of the back, 1 in from where the bedrock is, and knock out a vertical column of 2 and replace it with bedrock. Skip a block and make another column and fill it with bedrock. These are just some more vents. Now we're going to go around to the other side and do the exact same thing. So 1 back from where the bedrock is, and a column of 2 fill with bedrock, skip a block, another column of 2 fill with bedrock. Once we have that, we're going to come back in here and 2 forward from that column of bedrock. We're going to knock out a block and put in a stained glass pane. There's a small window on the side here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just come on over to the other side and 2 forward from the bedrock, knock out a block and put your glass pane. Now we're going to come in under these front side doors because we have to build the ladder to get up. So what we're going to do is knock out the 2 blocks under the door, and we're going to replace it with upside down stairs. Warped on the bottom, and I screwed up there, quartz on top. Then go ahead and replace the door. Now there's some stairs to get up. Then we're going to take out fence gates and open them, too tall underneath there because the ladder extends down by the trucks. Then iron bars coming up by 3 to be the railings to climb up. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So come around the other side here, knock out the 2 blocks under the door. Upside down warp stair, upside down quartz stair. Then replace the door. Then 3 iron bars coming vertically on each side, and 2 vertical fence gates opened up to be the ladder extending down. Now we're going to come around on top of the nose and fill that all in with red carpet. Now we're going to take out iron bars to be the hand railing. So we're going to start on the side and we're going to come up, and then there's going to be a 2x2 on the front of the porch on the side here, and connect that to those iron bars. Skip the middle block, make another 2x2. I was having some trouble placing the bars right there, and then connect this 2x2 down to the bottom of the stairs. Then bring 4 iron bars up on the other side of the stairs. And here I realized I still had a mistake, so I had to fill that back in and delete that one. And then come around on the other side of these stairs and another vertical column of 4 bars. Now we're going to come down to the back and do the handrails here. So we're going to bring up a vertical column of 4 there, and another vertical column of 4 on the other side, and then same thing as for the front, a 2x2 on the outside, skip the middle block, another 2x2. Here I had some trouble again. And then a column of 4 on this side of the stairs connected to that 2x2, and another column of 4. Now we're going to come up on front of the locomotive to do some detailing. Put a bell coming off that middle top block, and then on these outside blocks put a sign, and we're going to type our locomotive number in. So go ahead and type in your locomotive number. I'm using 4601 because that's the picture I'm looking at, and put one on the other side of the front on that second block up as well. Then we're going to move down to the rear of the locomotive to put our number plates on the back. So get down behind the locomotive here, and 1 down from the top on the outside edge of the middle 3, place your sign with your locomotive number, and do the same thing on the other side. Then on the left hand side of this, we place a ladder coming up. On the top 2 middle, we place item frames with glowstone to be rear headlights, and then if you want ditch lights on the rear, item frames down here with glowstone. Now we come up to the nose of the locomotive and we put our ditch lights by doing that same thing, item frames with glowstone on each of these iron bars, and then an item frame over this glowstone with another piece of glowstone in it to be the headlight. Now we put a crimson button on either side of the headlight to be the marker lights. Then we're going to come down on this first bottom blue block and place a blank sign. That just represents a sticker from the manufacturer on each side. Now we're going to come to the back top of the locomotive here where this bedrock is, and on this middle block on the outside edge, we knock out everywhere there's bedrock, kitty corner, and we fill that in with bedrock to be the vents on top. Then we come over and do the same thing on the other side, knock out these 6 blocks on the outside edge and fill them with bedrock. Then on this outside edge here, we're going to fill end to end with right side up stairs, coming all the way to the front of the locomotive. And the same thing on this side, end to end with right side up red nether brick stairs. This gives the top of the locomotive the correct angle. Then we come up to the top middle, one in front of where the bedrock is, and put another brick slab to be the exhaust. In front of that, we open some fence gates, 2 of them back to back, leaving a block gap. That's your horn. On top here, we skip a block from the front, 2 iron trap doors, and then a flower pot on this side. 2 blocks back from the flower pot, we make a 4x3 of iron trap doors. Now we need to make some banners for the logo. So we're going to come into a loom with a white banner. And we're going to use a white banner with red dye. We make a vertical on the left, vertical on the right, horizontal on top, horizontal on bottom, horizontal across the middle. New banner, vertical on the left, horizontal on top, horizontal on bottom. Now we switch to white dye and we make a border around each of those to make the letters look better. Now we come in with a white banner and blue dye this time, and we make the top half blue, then a vertical on the left, and a diagonal. This is the R. New banner, vertical on the left, vertical on the right, horizontal on top, horizontal in the middle. New banner, horizontal on bottom, horizontal on top, vertical in the middle. New banner, vertical on the left, horizontal on bottom. And then we switch to white dye and we take all 4 of these blue banners and put the white border around all of them. Now that we have our letter banners, we can come up on the side of the locomotive and place the logo. So we're going to come up on the side here, and underneath where there's a red block in between those 2 vents is where we're going to start. So we're going to spell out BC in the red banners and then Rail in the blue banners. And we're going to come around and put the logo on the other side as well. So come around the locomotive here, and I'm going to spell it out backwards so I know placement's correct. So we start in the red block between the 2 vents, and we put our letters on to spell BC Rail. And I just realized I didn't put the R, I put the A. So now the outside is done, and we're going to do the interior. So come on in this front door here. And the good thing about a wide body locomotive like this is we have all this space to build a detailed interior. First thing we're going to do is take smooth stone slabs, and we're going to put a column of them filling in this very front corner. Next to that, an end portal to be the locomotive toilet. Then we're going to make a column of slabs coming all the way up to the window on each side here. Turn to the side and raise a column of slabs to where that door is, and fill in with 4 columns of slabs. Same thing on this side. Raise it up with slabs until the floor reaches where the bottom of the door is. Then fill in this back middle to that same height, and then start making columns lowering down until you get 2 high. And leave 1 high in that front there so you can get down to the bottom. And actually you still couldn't fit through there, so you have to delete that one. Now we can go up and down these stairs. So I'm just going to edit them to be more stair-like there. Then take out some blackstone stairs and place them here and here on each side to be the seats. A lever on the engineer side, and then an item frame in the middle window with a compass to be a gauge. Come around to the back here and raise it up to the floor with slabs by another row of 3. Place an observer in the middle to be a breaker box, and above that glowstone to be the locomotive cab light. Normally we'd be finished with the interior here, but since this is a wide body, we get to build the engine room. So we're going to place a door on each side of that light. So go ahead and go through these back doors, and we're going to turn around and we're going to take out stone brick stairs. And we're going to make a staircase coming up to those doors on each side. We're going to switch back to smooth stone slabs, and we're going to make a column coming out by 3 and going all the way up to the roof of the locomotive. Now down in front of here, we place another set of doors on each side, and then columns going to the ceiling on each side of that above the doors. Now we're going to build the prime mover, so take out blast furnaces facing forward, and in the middle here, make a row of 8 of them. Above that, we're going to place anvils, and it's going to be tricky to do because we got to crouch to place them. So get on the middle here and place sideways anvils coming all the way back to the front of this. You're going to have to get off it here to place the last one. Above the anvils, we're going to place another row of blast furnaces coming all the way back. Starting from the back end of the prime mover, we're going to place a row of 4 cauldrons coming all the way to the top. Behind the prime mover here, on the very bottom middle, we're going to place 2 end rods to be the drive shaft. Then, light gray shulker boxes in a row of 3. Come on top and crouch and place 2. This is the generator. Above that, come down from the roof with observers and make this reverse L-shaped pattern. Fill in another column of 2 observers behind that. Come to the front of this generator, crouch, and on this front shulker box, place a column of 2 brewing stands coming up. Come around behind this there. That bedrock block wasn't needed, so I deleted it. Put 2 light gray shulker boxes. Then we're going to have to come down and we're going to have to crouch to place on top of it. Put another one there. Come around behind it and put a right side up stair facing backwards. And then we're going to place some upside down stairs. So again, we'll have to crouch. Upside down stair there, 2 of them. And then above those stairs, more shulker boxes coming up to the top. Then we're going to come around and we're going to take out a trap door to be our brake wheel. On the C40-8M, the brake wheel is in the back here on the inside. So put that there and close it to be the brake wheel. And now we have our engine room completed and we can walk all the way through it. Here I realize I miscalculated where these doors are, so we can't actually fit through it. So what we're going to have to do is move this backwards by 1. So what we're going to do is come around and delete this first section of the prime mover, this first column here. Then we'll go ahead and fill that in with a floor to ceiling column of smooth stone slabs. Then we can delete the column that's above the door and delete the door. Replace the column 1 block backwards and the door 1 block backwards. Now we can walk through it. Then we're going to have to come all the way around to the other side and do the exact same thing. So delete this door and delete the column above it, move it back by 1, place the door, and replace the column above it backwards 1. Now we can walk through on this side. Sorry about that miscalculation there, but now it's all complete and we can walk through the entire interior. And then we can come out here on the nose and get off the locomotive, just like we would in real life. So there you have it, folks. We've completed this BC Rail C40-8M. And once again, thanks to Railfan Kyle for requesting I build this locomotive to make this video possible. Everyone have a great week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay safe out there.